Welcome to some wind down restorative yoga. This is a very gentle and relaxing practice. Couple of supplies that you will need for this class. You're going to want 2 of these guys, little blocks, or stack of books will also work. Is kind of a firmer couch pillow, anything that's about 3 to 4 inches thick and not too squashy. You have squashy pillows, you can always stack 2 so that you get that couple of inches of height, so that's also fine. A blanket, any kind of blanket works. Something that's a little flatter will be more supportive for your neck, but if all you have is, puffy throw, that's totally fine. But you'll want at least one. You can see I have one here, and then I have one open across my mat just because the floor tends to be a little chilly in the evening. And then a bolster or something roughly this shape and size. Couch cushions work great. Couple of bed pillows stacked up just to support your body. You can use any other props if you happen to have them, eye pillows, masks, weights, anything that allows you to really relax and let go. We're going to start without any props, just lying on our backs. So you can take a moment just to move those props out to the side. And lie yourself all the way down. And when you come to lie on the mat, the first important thing is that your back feels good. So you might need your knees in or out, or knees tented. And take a moment to find a comfortable space here. And as you find your comfortable space, direct your attention into your breath. Really begin to pay attention to your sensation of breath. Does it feel like to breathe? And pay attention to the cadence of your breath. Is it fast? Slow, smooth or choppy. How does your breath sound this evening? As you are ready, you're going to begin to draw your knees in towards your chest. And go one and then the other. And you can hold the shins or the thighs or anywhere else that feels good. And just rock a little bit from right to left. Coming back to the center line, bring your hands onto your kneecaps. As you inhale, you're going to push your knees away from you, coming into an upside down table pose, knees stacked more or less over the hips. And then as you exhale, draw your knees back in towards you, compressing gently your belly. Inhale, push the feet away from you. Exhale, draw the knees in. And we'll Just do a few like this. See if you can begin to work at the pace of your own breath so that the movement of the knees over the hips takes the full length of the inhale, and the movement of the knees back towards the chest takes the full length of the exhale. One more set. Hug the knees back into the chest, and then release one foot, then the other foot to the floor. Here you can take your feet a little wider than the distance of your own hips. Take your arms out to the sides and simply sway your knees a few times from side to side, like windshield wipers. And the next time that your knees come over to the side, whichever side feels most comfortable, allow yourself to roll all the way over to that side. And use your hands to press you all the way up. We'll set up first here for a crocodile pose. This is a face down pose, and you will want a blanket for this one. And you're going to fold your blanket and place it underneath your belly. And you can fold the blanket at a height that feels comfortable. So if you feel like you want to feel a little bit more of your belly, you might fold your blanket a little bit higher. If you feel like, maybe you just ate dinner and you don't want to feel quite so much your belly, you might fold your blanket the other way, as long as it's about mat width or a little wider apart. And you want to just set that about halfway in the center of your mat. As you lie down on top of the blanket, you want the bottom edge of the blanket to go at the crease of your hips, so it's supporting the lower belly. You can also adjust the width of this blanket. And you'll lie yourself down, and you'll bring your head towards the floor. You can create a cushion of your hands, or you could rest your head to one side if that feels better. You do want to feel a little bit of light pressure on your abdomen so that you become aware of that area of your body. Now, this is restorative yoga, so you should feel comfortable here. You should feel like you are in a relaxing place. Do not hesitate at any time to adjust the height, the size, the type of prop you are using. Now that you begin to feel your belly, your abdomen, see if you can feel your breath there. find your attention wandering away from the breath, away from the sensations in the center of your body. That is completely normal. Our minds are busy in active places. Whenever you notice that happening, you notice that you're thinking about your to-do list, your grocery list, your child's schoolwork, whatever it is. Bring yourself back. Focus your attention. How does the breath feel? How does the breath sound? Deep breaths in. Equally deep breaths out. As you are ready, you can begin to bring your hands underneath your shoulder. Use those hands to press yourself back. You could come to seated, or you could come to take a few breaths in your child's pose. comfortable seat. You can stay seated on the heels if you came from child's pose. You can take a cross-legged seat. And just take a few moments here in this seat to kind of let what you just did sink in. Maybe close your eyes, soften your gaze, and just notice if there are any changes in your body. Any changes in the way you are holding your muscles. Any changes in your attitude, how you feel. To our next pose, we're going to move into a supported side lying pose. We'll need a couple more props for this one. We're going to lie on our side, so if you have tender outer hips and that is uncomfortable for you, feel free to use one or more of your blankets to create extra cushion on your mat so that you feel comfortable lying on the side. And then you're going to want a block or one of your pillows, something that is about the same height as your bolster, perhaps 3-4 inches or so, at the end of your mat. And then on your side, doesn't really matter which side, you can start on either side, you're going to place a bolster. I have an extra blanket here, just handy up near the top of my mat. Maybe I'll want to add that underneath my head, or even just draw it over myself as we come into this. What you're going to do is lie on your side facing your bolster. You can bend your knees here. Let your head rest on your support and let your arm be extended. So you'll want your prop to be high enough that you feel that your shoulder is comfortable here. From here, you might extend your bottom leg a little straighter, draw your bolster in, and rest your top knee on that bolster. So you're snuggled in this position. Again, you can add and you can subtract things, finding the right height, the right position for you. As you find this position, you can keep your top arm snuggled right into yourself, or you can add at any point a little side stretch, taking that top arm up over your head, reaching towards the end of your mat. If you choose that option, know that you stay there just as long as that feels good in the shoulder. Again, soften your gaze or even close your eyes. Turn your attention inward. One way to do that is to pay attention to your breath. You're letting go of external concerns and focusing inward. It's like putting on noise-canceling headphones. Things are still there. Life goes on around you, but it's just muffled. It's quietened down. So that you can start to hear the beat of your heart. Maybe you can begin to feel the heartbeat, not just in the area of your physical heart, but in other areas of your body. belly. In your hips. And the soles of your feet. The tips of your fingers. And every breath you become more aware of your own breath and your own body processes. Deep breath in. Nice, gentle sigh out. Here you're simply going to move over onto your other side. So you could press yourself up with your hands, or you can roll over onto your back, transferring your pillows or bolsters over to the other side of your body. Lying yourself down here. Remember to extend your bottom arm so there's no compression, no discomfort in your shoulder. The bottom knee could stay bent, or it can lengthen a little bit as you draw the new top knee onto your support. And again, you could take your top arm up over your head for that extra side stretch if you need. Stay there just as long as feels good. Sink in. Allow your attention to melt back into the body. Becoming aware all over again of what is happening there. Listen. Find the sound of your breath. And gently you can begin to bring yourself back to a seated position. Again, pick somewhere comfortable for a few breaths. Feel free to use your props to sit on or against. When you reach a comfortable seat, soft gaze or closed eyes. And just tune in. What is different? What is the same? When you're ready, blink your eyes open. This next one is also very simple. All you're going to need for this is your block or your couple of cushions. Another good option for this one is to fold a firm blanket up. We're going to support our hips a little higher than the rest of our body for a moment here. You can clear the rest of your props down to the side. Select your prop. I'm selecting my softer, squishier block. If you have a tender tailbone, you might find a softer, squishier, or folded up blanket here. And just put that down by your side and lie yourself to the mat. Draw the soles of your feet in so your knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. And then grabbing your prop, lift your hips and take that underneath your tailbone. Letting your tailbone, your sacrum rest on your support. And here first, just find your shoulder blades against the mat. Notice the sensation in your neck. You might decide to stay right here, or you might decide to go a little deeper, extending one leg down to the end of the mat, or both. And you can see what feels just right. Both legs feels a little bit intense. You can always practice one leg at a time. I will let you know when it's time to switch. If you like that feeling of stretch at the front of the body, you can always extend your arms up over your head. And here, see if you can begin to notice, begin to be aware of what your muscles are doing. First, what are your abdominal muscles doing? Are they shortening? Are they clenching in an effort to hold you here in this position? You might even hear the change in my breath as I do that. It's not comfortable. It doesn't feel great. Or are they relaxing? Are they lengthening and elongating in this position? Are they facilitating deeper relaxation in the rest of the body? That's what we're looking for. And release the abdominal muscles, the hip flexors, The quadriceps, that's the front of the thigh. If you happen to be practicing with just one leg extended and the other bent, you can take this opportunity to switch. And again, you're looking for the muscles to disengage in this place, to lengthen. Can you do that again in your abdominals, your belly? Can you do that in your jaw? Can you do that in your armpits? As you are ready, draw the soles of both of your feet in. So again, the knees point towards the ceiling. Take your arms overhead to bring them back down by your side. When you're ready, gently press into your heels, lift your hips up and move your prop out to the side. Hips come down to the floor. You might like to take your feet a little wider than your hips and let your knees knock in towards one another. Constructive rest pose. Taking again the time to notice the effects that that pose had on your body. Deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, you could either do some windshield wipers, swaying the knees from side to side. You could hug your knees in towards your chest and rock a little bit. And then eventually move your way all the way over to one side. Use your hands to press yourself to seated. For this next one, we'll place some support underneath our knees, so you'll want your larger prop, bolster, or a couple of pillows here. And you want to place that just about 2/3 of the way towards the end of your mat. Place your knees over this prop, and then we're going to lie ourselves back. If you feel a little chilly, you might use your blanket to cover your feet or your feel like you need a little extra support underneath your head, you could always fold your blanket and place it underneath your head at the end of the mat. Here, as you're ready, lie yourself all the way back and let your knees relax over the bolster. That means they could be a little more open. That might feel nice. A little more closed. I'm usually quite partial to having my bolster be quite tall underneath my knees. I like a lot of height there for support. I'm going to snuggle my feet underneath my blanket to keep them toasty. So adjust here so that your lower back feels good against the floor. And again, as you settle into position, you want to find your shoulder blades relaxing against the mat. Your hips relaxing. Your abdominal wall relaxing. And as the muscles relax, imagine that just like your physical muscles, your mind can relax. So you can let it kind of stretch out a little bit. And let it soften. Imagine that you are a pool of water. And of course, when you stir the pool of water or you drop objects into the pool of water, it's agitated. There's wind, the breeze ruffles the top of the water. It activates it. But when you are able to leave the water alone, to let the water rest, to let it become smooth and still. Let the wind, the voices around you, let the dropping of pebbles, all the deterrents that happen throughout daily life, let the stirring, small agitations, the reversals of flow in your life, let all of those quiet. Leave them alone. Grow still. ready, you begin to draw your knees in towards your chest. Again, like the beginning, you could hug them towards you. You can rock a little side to side. You're welcome to turn the soles of your feet up to the sky and go towards a happy baby if that feels nice. As you're ready, rocking all the way to one side. Using your hands to bring yourself up. Sitting for a moment in a comfortable position. Soft gaze or closed eyes. Checking in. Feeling any effects. Any changes. When you're ready, blink the eyes open. We'll set up for the final pose of this practice. You're going to want your large prop, your pillows, your bolster. You want to take them back to the end of your mat. And you have the option here, we're going to do a simple back bend to lie flat on this bolster with your whole torso, or to create a little bit of lift by placing another prop underneath the end of the bolster. This is especially helpful if you experience congestion, allergies, or cold during this time of year. To keep the head a little bit elevated can feel really nice and relaxing. And then you're going to snuggle your hips up against your bolster or your pillows or your prop. Again, you might like to have a blanket handy. I'll make mine handy here so that I can draw it over myself in just a moment here. And lie yourself back. You can always prop underneath your neck or underneath your head with an additional blanket. You can bring the arms out to the sides or rest them on the belly. Find a place where you feel some gentle expansion at the center of your chest. You could decide if you would like to keep your knees tented, or to bring the soles of your feet together, or to extend your legs long to the bottom of the mat. Feel free at this point to cozy yourself up, adding any additional props that feel nice. Take your time. Allow yourself to truly get comfortable here. As you settle in, again, find your breath. Can you hear it? Can you feel it? Once you've accessed the breath, breathe deeply in. And as you breathe out, see if you can focus on relaxing your muscles, relaxing your jaw, the back of your neck, softening your shoulders, your heart, your arms and the palms of your hands. Relaxing your belly, your hips, letting go of your thighs, your shins, and the soles of your feet. So with each breath, you relax a little deeper. With each breath, you sink a little further. With each breath, you turn in a little more, a little more, a little more. again, feeling the movement of the breath through the chest, through the belly. Now beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Drawing the soles of your feet in if they're not already there, so the knees point up towards the ceiling. From here you can sway a little bit from right to left, again those windshield wipers. Eventually you can roll yourself all the way over to one side, maybe even still resting on your prop. Taking a few breaths here. Before making your way to your most comfortable seated position. Any props or accessories that you might like. As you arrive in your seat, let your hands come in front of your heart. Press your fingertips together. Bow your head again, close your eyes. Soften your gaze. Feel the effects. Notice any changes or anything that has stayed the same. Close with our deep breath together. In through the nose and then out through the mouth. And begin on 3. 1, 2, 3. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your evening time with me, your practice with me. I hope you have a wonderful and peaceful rest of your evening or day. Thank you for joining me. Good night.